Hi, welcome to the RAMS Agents Production Coaching Call. The goal of the call is to help you sell more homes by maximizing your repeat and referral closings and by implementing the Referral Agent Mastery System into your practice. My name is Mike Cerrone, co-founder of RAMS Agents, and my co-host is Angela Newman, a master trainer of RAMS Agents. Hello, Angela. How are you today?
Good morning, everybody. I feel great. My voice is getting better.
Poor Angela lost her voice this week. and All right, Angela. Well, good to have you here. Let's do this, everybody. Let's jump into good news. Who's got some good news they'd like to share?
I guess I could go quickly. Um, I got a referral yesterday from somebody that I made a phone call to last week. And when I had called them last week, they didn't pick up and they didn't call back. And that's the good news from me. So I contacted them yesterday. They already got a pre-approval. So we're going to look at half a dozen places tomorrow evening.
Wow, Tristan, that's fantastic. So you called out to your PCSOI, and when you said they didn't answer and they didn't reply back, did you leave a message or did they just see that you had called?
Yeah, I always leave a message.
When you call and you're calling your friends, your family, your past clients, and you leave a message in this real estate space, what's the message? What does it sound like?
It depends on the nature of the relationship. So for this person, we're really good friends. So I was like, "Yes, my bro, it's Tristan. Hit me back. All right, man. Talk to you later." And then that was it. And then I didn't hear back. And then yeah, Monday morning, he sent me an email, and then we got on a phone call later on in the day. And
That's awesome. So there was no reference to real estate. You're just doing a touch.
yeah,
And that resulted in him calling you back and giving you a referral.
yeah, giving me a referral by email, and then calling me back that morning.
Nice. That's awesome. Now, do you think that that would have happened if you had not reached out?
No, probably not.
Wow. Well, good job doing your reach outs.
Yeah, I'm realizing it's the most important prospecting action I can take. Like, so just gotta stay consistent now with that.
When you say the most important prospecting action you can take, what do you mean by that? Give us some clarity for people listening.
It's just in a day, there's like so many different things that you are thinking that you need to do. Like, oh, I gotta respond to this email. I gotta send this person these listings. I gotta finish my continuing education requirements, or I got to finish updating my CRM, or I gotta work on my website, or I gotta make this social media post, or I gotta go and knock 100 doors. But making my phone calls to the people who I already know and people that have already supported me in business is the most important, I guess, dollar productive thing because the most leads I've been getting lately have been from referral, and all of these are from people that I've been calling.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Tristan. Good job. Good work. Love the good news. That was great good news. All right. Does anybody else have some good news they'd like to share? Oh,
Well, I'll just share that I do have I've had a lot of social media activity, and quite a few people have said that they're going to tune in for this live stream that I'm going to do today at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So that's pretty exciting. It's a live stream that I've seen the people who've signed up for it, and some of them are people I haven't talked to in a long time, but they caught it through social media. So that's a good thing.
wow. That's fantastic. Blake, tell us a little bit more about your event. So you're going to have a live event today. What exactly is going to happen in that event?
Yeah, so I'm going to be, as you know, I have a podcast. So we will be in the podcast studio. Um, and it's going to be me and a mortgage broker here in Chattanooga who's been in the mortgage business for over 40 years. This guy knows his stuff. And um, he and I are looking at the Chattanooga 2025. I think I've actually got it billed as the 2025 Chattanooga Real Estate Forecast. That's the headline. So what we're going to do is kind of a quick recap of what happened in 2024, where we stand now, and what we're looking for ahead. And the topics specifically, I'm going to lean on him for discussing mortgage rates and how that's impacting the housing market. And I'm going to talk about listings, number of available homes, the inventory available. I'm going to talk about the median sales price. I have a history all the way back to 2010 for the local market, so I'm able to reference that, and then just what we expect for 2025. What's happening? I've got this broken down not only market wide through the whole MLS, but also by zip code, so we can talk a little bit about some of the um, neighborhoods, some of the areas in town.
That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. So you did quite a bit of prep work. How long is this going to be for? How long are you going to be broadcasting? Do you have a time frame?
Yeah, I expect it to be about a half hour discussion, and we might open. We'll just see how it goes. I mean, we've left it open for a 45 minutes. I put it on calendar for 45 minutes for people that had it automatically put on their calendar. It's from 11 to 11:45, but yes, I think it'll be about a half an hour, and we may be able to. I don't know how well we would handle it with question and answer. It's not going to be a Zoom. It's really going to be a push out. We'd have to look at comments and stuff to do that, and I'm not really prepared for that. So I'm going to tell people if you're making comments or and trying to chat with me, it's probably not going to be something we get to see right now because we're on multiple formats, we're on multiple platforms, be on YouTube, Facebook Live. Um, LinkedIn was the whole catalyst for this thing. That's why I was using it. And unfortunately, LinkedIn is having a technical problem right now with their live feed stuff. So I don't think we're going to be on LinkedIn. So I'm going to have to update LinkedIn, my post, to let people know, hey, come find us on YouTube or come find us on Facebook.
Wow, that
And
is
then
really neat. Go ahead.
I'm going to send out a recording to anybody that signed up too, so that they'll get that automatically, whether they saw us live or not, because at least I'll have their contact info.
And so it's going to be a challenge to get any feedback from the audience, but you'll be able to dialogue with your co-host.
Correct. He and I will be able to talk.
So you'll be asking questions of one another as you go. I assume you'll try to think of questions that people that are listening would want to know.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
he'll do the same for you.
And he will do the same for me. I've done a lot of research too on just census data as well for Chattanooga, so that I've got median monthly value of, let's see, median value of owner occupied housing units. I have that. And then, of course, we from the MLS know what the median value of properties that have sold is. But that doesn't account for which ones somebody lives in, which ones are not owner occupied. So that's a whole nother data point, is the owner occupied. So I have a lot of data points to kind of just be conversation pieces. One of the big things, and this will be part of my predictions for 2025, is we have a lot. Chattanooga, the median sales price in Chattanooga is $330,000. But in recent years, we have had an uptick in $1 million plus properties. And right now, they represent about 6% of our listings. 6% of all listings are $1 million or more. And so one of my predictions is we're going to see a lot more $1 million homes because that has increased significantly over the past few years for a number of reasons. Obviously, the equity situation, we've had increases in job opportunities here, and there's just more wealth. It's just more wealth. So that's it.
Cool. That is cool. Yeah, you got all kinds of good stats you've already got prepared. There's all kinds of good ones you can get. So it sounds like you got medium price. You're going to talk about the pricing trend, and that's going to be a hot topic people are going to want to know. Do you have days on the market? How long is it taking people to sell a home?
I do. I do. I have days on market. I've got that average for the year. I've got the December data. So I've got, here's where we are now. Here's what it was throughout 2024. Today in December, the days on market is 50, 50. But over the year, I think I had it averaged, I'll have to look back on my notes. It was somewhere around 43, I think, 43 days on market.
Cool. Have you done, did you do absorption rate?
I have that available. Um, you know, I mean, I have that right here on and by zip code, by market. I I mean, we could definitely talk about that because the number of days on market compared to the number of listings or sold actually is what you use that for, isn't it? But because absorption rate is not a typical um, data point that people just automatically understand or latch onto, I decided that I would avoid that simply because there's so many other data points that are a little easier for people to grasp. Um, I mean, the absorption rate, does that really, I guess what that would tell us is really just how fast somebody's going to end up with a property sold, isn't it?
Yeah, so an absorption rate is the total number of properties for sale. So you got all the homes for sale plus the ones that are pending, and you divide by the total number of homes that sold last month, and that
Yeah.
tells you how many months of inventory are in the
How many
market
months?
right now. So it's just another indicator to show the health of a market. And all of these numbers by themselves, if you just put them out there, are a curiosity, but they're not helpful without the trend. So I really like that you went back in time and you're showing, be sure to keep referring to that. You know, last year it was this, or 5 years ago it was this, and today it's now this, right? So X and Y, showing the comparison and the change. That's what I think people would really tune into, and then turn around and tell their friend. And you know what I just learned? The average price in our area last year was 275, and today it's 330, right? And so that comparison of say a year ago to today, or again 3 years, 5 years, whatever some time frame that they can use on those three primary stats. Or your two primary stats, so the price and then days on market, and then you could add absorption rate. And you're correct, realtors are the ones that really focus on absorption rate, and it's a great topic to use when you're in a listing presentation.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah,
brought
I
that
get
up.
it. I do get it that the absorption rate, if your month supply is less than 4 months supply, then it's a seller's market. 4 to 6 months supply is a balanced market, and then +6 is a buyer's market. Is generally the way that's looked at, if I understand correctly. But we still, for the most part, we're either in balanced or in seller's market still. Um, it's it's definitely been. I don't think there's any, and I'm saying I don't think there's any zip code. There's probably some zip code, but not any of the primary ones where we have more than 4 to 5 months of inventory.
Cool. I love it, Blake. And just to go back to the idea of a listing presentation and how you can use absorption rate. Let's say you're sitting at 4.5 months of absorption. So your total number of properties in the market are 4.5 times how many sold last month. When you're talking to a seller, You say, hey, this is showing you how long it could take to sell your home. If no other properties came into the market and the properties continued to sell at their current rate, it could take as long as 4.5 months to get your home sold. Is that okay with you? Are you okay with that time frame? Right? So it's where you can bring it back into a question for them. Um, and then
That's
the
great.
next point to that is we know other properties are going to come to the market, so it may take even longer. And that's something you want to ask them what their time frame is, and then you can match it up to what's actually happening in the market. So days on the market is one, but then absorption is the other.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I particularly appreciate the way you framed it as a question, particularly in a listing presentation. If no other houses came on board, it's possible that it'll take 4.5 months or whatever the absorption rate is for yours to sell. Is that okay with you? I love that. Is that okay? Because if it's not, we're going to need to tweak something here to ramp it up, right?
Exactly. Good job, Blake. Well, that's pretty exciting. I'm excited for you. Good luck on the presentation today.
Thank you.
Oh, I have another question because we're sitting here in the Blake, if you're still with us.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Blake. Hey, if you're still with us, so if we're talking about getting more repeat and referrals on this call, and you're using this event, we love event marketing. Question is this: how did you get the word out to your people that you were putting on this event?
Great question. I have exclusively used, well, not completely exclusively, but in my mind, it was exclusively social media. So I've done Facebook video post on Facebook and LinkedIn. As I mentioned, LinkedIn was the catalyst for me wanting to do this because I learned about one of their tools. And I'm a active LinkedIn person. So I have maybe, I don't know, 700 or 800 contacts in LinkedIn. A lot of people don't get that involved in LinkedIn, but I have several hundred. So LinkedIn allows you, when you set up a meeting or set up an event, to direct message, and they'll do it all for you, an invitation to all of those people automatically through LinkedIn. And it also, I think it may even go to the emails. I'm not sure of that, but it definitely puts it out. So LinkedIn is kind of the reason I thought, hey, let me try this out. So I used that method to invite through the LinkedIn tool for invitation to an event. And that's where I've gotten most of my confirmations. So it's really disappointing that their live thing is not working this morning. But still, just the same. It's a touch. It's an invitation. I invited probably 500 people to the directly through LinkedIn, and currently I've got 10 people that have said that have signed up and said they're going to be there.
So you do have a mechanism for them to reply back. They're signing up. Are they signing up through LinkedIn or some other medium?
Through LinkedIn. Yeah, through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn gives me a this person and these people are going. It's basically I'm going or I'm not going is the options that you get. And so it gives me so and so signed up to be at the webinar. And then I have a list of those people. So I can contact them directly and let them know, hey, sorry, this thing didn't work on LinkedIn, but here's a copy of the video. I can do that.
That's great. Congratulations. And it's a great lesson for next time when I assume that LinkedIn will have their technology all dialed in. Now you
Yeah, it
have
just
to
crashed
scramble
yesterday, apparently.
to get these people in. How about does Facebook have something like that where you can invite and then they can reply back, right? Is that an event in Facebook?
I'm not aware of it. They might. I'm not aware of it. I will be live on Facebook, but on there I've just promoted it through a video saying I'm going to do this, and then when we go live, it'll be live, and some people will see that if they happen to be on Facebook. And some people may have put it on their calendar and they're planning to be there, but I don't know. I don't know that until
I
it
think
goes live.
Angela's got an answer for us.
There you go.
So you can create an event in Facebook as well, and you can invite anybody that you're friends with to that event. And you can allow friends of friends to invite people, and it goes out to the public if you want it to. And then you could do your live through that event.
Cool. Thank you, Angela. So we could invite people through the event, set up an event inside Facebook and invite to them, and then they can RSVP to let us know if they're going to show up.
Yes, but I have not used LinkedIn as much as I should have over the years. So I really appreciate that tip that Blake shared with LinkedIn, because that's very, very valuable.
Yeah, and it's quite a complicated thing with LinkedIn, and that's part of the issue is there is no button to go live on LinkedIn. You can't just, like on Facebook and Instagram, you can just go live at any moment. And you can't, and YouTube, you can do that, but you cannot do that on LinkedIn. You have to set up through a third party, and I'm using StreamYard as the third party. So this has all been a learning curve for me. And this is great info to know that I could do an invitation on Facebook too, and I didn't know that. So that's good to know.
Yeah, that's StreamYard. That was something I was going to ask you. I thought it might be your co-host is running it, but you're aware of it. So StreamYard will broadcast into StreamYard, and StreamYard will go out to all these other final destinations. So YouTube
Correct.
and the LinkedIn, if it was working, and the Facebook and Instagram or wherever else you're broadcasting out to. Correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. So one stream coming from StreamYard, and StreamYard puts it out to all the systems.
Cool. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear how that plays out. And congratulations on doing an event and getting people involved. As you all know, event marketing, it's all about the touch. We just want to reach out and touch. It's the invitation that's the value. And Blake just invited a ton of people. I got a couple of other quick questions, Blake. I know you got to run. When you got to run, just let us know. But you're doing a lot of LinkedIn, and I'm like Angela, I'm not as familiar with it. Did you find a big chunk of your PCSOI inside of LinkedIn? Are they all there?
That's a great question. I would say no, not a huge chunk, but I'm just thinking back on the sales that I've had this year. Several of them, I am connected to those people through LinkedIn. I'm also connected to them in other ways, but they are seeing my stuff on LinkedIn. So, I it's probably, I kind of look at it as another platform, another opportunity to be in front of people. It is a significant portion of my PCSOI, but not the majority.
Yeah, I think of LinkedIn, I think of it as being the business world. It used to be the resume. You put your resume up there, and then that turned into more connections from the business side, and less what I would think more like social network. But it sounds like it's developing more into that. Is that true?
No, I mean, it might be. I definitely think it's very business. It's not just resume stuff, though. Absolutely. It's what's going on at your company, what's going on at someone's company, what's going on with their job promotions. They have a job promotion or change jobs, that LinkedIn will generally follow them there. Yes, LinkedIn is definitely, because it's business focused, is used very much as a platform for looking for jobs. But that's not its. I know a lot of people think of that as the only reason for it. Clearly, it's not. I have a lot of connections, and I haven't looked for a job in many years, but I have had a number of connections that I regularly interact with on LinkedIn.
So
it's probably because of my business. My prior career is business to business sales. because I was selling advertising to business people. So that's why I have a network on LinkedIn. So that is part of my PCSOI, is a large part of my contacts.
Yeah, it sounds like LinkedIn is definitely more of a business network, a business people network,
I
uh,
would say so.
and business focused in the conversations and the topics. So if they're putting up memes, it's probably memes of a business situation. And it's more focused on business, as you said, business to business. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very focused on business to business. You pretty much assume anyone on LinkedIn has some business need to be there, business purpose in being there. Not necessarily that they're selling something, but maybe they're just interacting with their peers in other, other parts of the country. I mean, I have a number of realtors that I'm connected with on LinkedIn. So I think this is, a attraction activity as well.
Yeah, and you're
Um,
using it that way. I'm real proud of you, Blake. That's cool.
yeah,
Does
yeah.
anybody have any questions for Blake about what he's doing today with his event before we lose him? Because I know he's going to be leaving us soon.
I'm going to take the video off here.
Yeah, Blake, I wanted to ask you quickly if you felt like in your preparation for this event that you learned a lot more about the market and you just feel any different than you did, I guess, in your preparation.
That's a great question, Tristan. I do. I think I've learned more in my preparation, just because I'm doing so much research for it. And so you're exactly right. I've learned more about the market. One of the things that has been notable to me is I've studied the by zip code, by neighborhoods, more than there's some neighborhoods that I want to work in, so I'm looking at those zip codes regularly. But now because I'm trying to be more broad across the whole market, I'm looking at some other neighborhoods that I thought might have activity, some well-established neighborhoods, and they may have only had, in a zip, excuse me, there's some zip codes that have had only, two sales in December. And that surprised me that there was only a couple of sales. And there's $1 million homes in those neighborhoods. So, or in those zip codes. It's a whole zip code. And there might have only been, one or two sales in December. So that has surprised me. Then there's others. Most of my zip codes have uh, 60, 70, 80 sales in December alone. I don't have the annual number for all that, but I've got the December numbers.
Excellent. Excellent. Good job, Blake. Good job doing that research and getting that out there. So there are, I like how you did a twist on this, and I'm trying to think if I'd heard somebody doing this. I know that a lot of people do a state of the market video or a written report, and they'll send that out one directional to their people. You're doing this through a live stream broadcast where you could get feedback and interaction with people. I think that's a really creative way to do this, and can't wait to hear the results.
Cool. Cool. I'll catch up with you in the car here in just a few.
All right, Blake, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, who else has some good news? Angela, you got any good news to share? Let's see, I'll read Angela. She's having a hard time speaking. She wrote this little chat, says, hey, I've been speaking. Oops, I just lost it. Hold on. Let me open up my other window. There you go. I've been speaking with an investor about buying some commercial land this morning. She texted me that she got notice from a tenant to move out and she would like me to help lease it out. Yeah. Yeah, Angela works with a lot of investors, and so they always have some kind of need, right? So you're helping someone look for commercial property to buy, maybe leasing up a property now that just popped up. Angela, most of the business I understand, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, that you're working with a lot of investors on the residential side, helping them buy and sell houses, condos, townhouses, maybe a small apartment building. But now you've also gone into some commercial. You mentioned warehouse the other day. What percentage do you think is of each one for residential versus commercial? If somebody were listening and they were thinking about starting to work with investors.
So it's been a very small percentage of industrial or office or churches or things like that over the years, but mostly multifamily. But I would say that don't be afraid of commercial because there's always a way. And if you're not comfortable, look for somebody that you can partner up with to learn commercial. It's really not a whole lot different than selling with residential.
That's good advice, Angela. Well, congratulations on that. I'm glad we had some good news there to share. So let's do this. Let's talk about, well, first of all, before I go into that, because we ate up a good chunk of time, does anybody have a burning issue that you want us to address as you're working on your repeating referrals and your PCSOI? We're getting started here at the beginning of the year. Any burning questions that we should be talking about to help you out?
I have one that I'd like to throw out there. So my goal is to talk to all of my PCSY once a quarter this year. And this first quarter, what I would like to do is offer them kind of a checkup kind of thing, and basically a market analysis. But I also want to open it up to people that are renting because they may want a different rental property to rent, or they may have a vision of someday they want to buy a house. So I want it to be, I need help kind of what to call it or what the offer is, because I don't want it to be just exclusive to buying and selling, but more like a wealth checkup or something like that.
That's an interesting question. I have a couple of quick ideas and we'll open it up to the group for any other additional ideas. The first thing that came to my mind, so you're talking about, again, residential now, you're talking about buying and selling a house, but also renting a house for your tenants, people that are tenants. And so instead of calling it real estate, which people think buy and sell, a real estate review, which would be kind of an interesting name, by the way, for your owners. Real estate review. Alliteration always is fun. You might want to use the word housing, because housing kind of covers a broader spectrum, and that could be owners as well as renters. You're giving a housing report or a housing status. By the way, I'm just spitballing right now. Anybody else who wants to throw in, go for it. But the word housing might work. Housing review, housing report, housing status. Those are some of the things that pop into the housing health. You used the word health earlier.
And it's really about maybe helping them think about their wealth. How much equity do they have in their current property if they own something? Have they ever thought about buying a house if they're renting? Because I do have some people that I'm in communication with that want to buy in the future, or I have communication with a lot of people that are renters as well. But then also I work with a lot of investors. So one of my investors owns 100 plus doors. If I would offer this to him, I need to be careful. I need to make sure I have time to dig into that for him. The other investors I work with own, 20 doors, up to 20 doors or more. So
yeah, so the investor side, when they own multiple units, 20, 50, 100 units, it'd be a lot of work to do a CMA on all those. However, the flip side is they might be more likely to be buying or selling because they already have such a big portfolio. right? So like if somebody that has 100 units, they may be turning 5 of those units this year, culling out the ones they don't like and bringing in something new as an example, 1031ing up or down, all kinds of things they could be have as their objective or goal. So it might be worth it to invest a bunch of time with them if you'll have to play that game in the commercial space. And the other thing that I'm hearing, and you know your people pretty well in the PCSOI world, so maybe you wouldn't want to do generic offer. Instead, maybe you want to do specific offers per group, right? So the investor, it might be a certain offer to them. Find out your cash flow position, or find out your equity, your total equity position, or you could even offer to them, hey, would you like us to do an analysis on a specific property you're thinking about letting go of? Or here, how about this? Do you have a sick property? Do you have a sick rental? Like they're having a problem with cash flow. You're always looking for a problem you can solve, right? Maybe they've got a problem with cash flow, and you're saying, hey, do you want us to do a quick analysis on one of your sick properties, right? And find out if there's a way to turn it around and make it positive cash flow. And if it can't, maybe you'd consider liquidating it and using those funds to buy something that would be positive, right? So this idea, though, you want to capture their mind. And so that's why I like the idea of a sick property, right? It's not healthy. There's something wrong. And because I think that would be more like a burr in their shoe, a rock in their shoe, right? That idea of a problem that's annoying to them. They've got some tenant that's not paying, or they've just something wrong with the property, and they've been wondering about it and what they should do. That might be an interesting message to try with an investor. And it could result in, one, you help them and they love you, or two, they maybe sell and buy another property, and now you got 2 transactions, some kind of 1031 exchange maybe. And then for your, I think you got 3 groups. You got your investors, you've got your homeowners, people that just own a home. And now that's the person I think you started with, which is, hey, would you like to get a analysis of the health of your equity, right? Or an evaluation of the equity, equity review, a wealth review, a housing wealth review. Okay, that might be an interest. Housing wealth report. Would you like a housing wealth report? That might be something interesting in the middle. And then the third group, those are your tenants, right? And then that's a different message. That's hey, would you like to become a homeowner? Would you like to start to develop equity and wealth, generational wealth? I would talk about generational wealth with a tenant, right? You're not only building up equity for yourself, you're building up equity for your kids, for your family, all right? And that may be approach to that. So I think you got 3 different groups that I've heard so far. I'd go with 3 different messages if you can break out the people into groups. And then if you can't, you might have a 4th one that's where we were kind of going initially, but that would be my last bucket, which would be a general offer of housing health, right? Those are for the people, like if you were just blasting it out on social media. And if you did that, then you would break it into, hey, which of these 3 groups are you in? Let me know and I can help you out. Like if you're an investor, we can talk about a sick property. If you're a homeowner, we can talk about your equity wealth buildup report. And if you're a renter, then we can talk about how you can get into home ownership.
Thank you. Because I was trying to put everybody into one bucket and one offer, and that makes total sense. And my group is small enough that I'm going to be calling, leaving voicemails, sending an email, so I can totally tailor it to them.
Cool. And I would break it out for the 3. The one that's the most valuable to you as a business person, right? Which one do you think would create the most business? I'd go to that one first. So I don't know if it's in the same order that we just went through, or the reverse, or some other mix, but like if you think you work with a lot of investors, I would go for the investor offer first and go through my list. And then I would swing back around. Like you could even do this per week or even per month over the first quarter. Like the first month, you're going to investors. The second month, you're going out to homeowners. And the third month, you're going out to renters as an example of your time, breaking your time out. And the other reason is in case you run out of time, you at least went to the group that you thought would be the most profitable first or the most valuable to your business. Cool. All right, good. Well, that was a lot of fun today. I'm gonna do this real fast, and then we're gonna break for today. And again, if anybody has anything you want us to talk about, let me know. But I want to just show the group something real quick, a reminder.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, yes.
I
Blake.
do have something I wanted to share with you before the day got away here. I happened to be listening to a podcast that I listen to pretty regularly, the Stay Paid podcast, which is for realtors. But anyway, the guy they had on there on the most recent episode is they had done 40, it's a team of some sort, but they had done 40 sales last year, all by non-owner occupieds.
Oh,
and
sweet.
I thought about your target for this year. And one of the key, I mean, they came up with several things they presented, but one of the key things they said was when they're dialing these absentee owners, it's almost always they double dial. They'll dial them, they'll get no answer, they'll dial them right back, and it's the second dial that they answer on. So I wanted to share that with you because I thought that's pretty good info.
Thanks, Blake. Yeah, the double dial, that could be used within any telemarketing. Yeah, that's an old word, but the telemarketing approach. The whole idea behind the double dial is you make a dial out to someone, they ignore you because they don't know who you are, and you make a second dial right away. And the reason that most people will pick up is now they're worried that it might be some emergency, right? Like maybe someone's calling from their kid's school, and the kid needs something, or was hurt, or just needs some help somehow. And so that's the psychology of why they're more likely to pick up the second time, because now it looks like it just went from just an annoyance to, oh, maybe this is urgent. And so that's an interesting point to get more pickups from folks. All right, cool. All right, good. Well, thank you, Blake. Let me do this real fast. I just want to show and remind you all that we've got this information here. We've got our guideline, our quick start. Let me get this out of the way to hide that. All right, so we've got this quick start guide that you all have access to. And I wanted to go down into the table of contents. So again, we got our different levels, preparing your list, email marketing, social media, direct mail, and then the call and events. And like Angela was just bringing up events for the year, we should all be thinking about that because event marketing is the easiest thing to do. Blake's doing it today. And so what I was going to show you here is, let's go down into, I think I missed it there. Where'd I go? Just give me a sec. Call or event. I gotta go find it. I thought I had it referenced. It'll just take a sec. Let's go down to, here we go. Here are some different kind of events to consider. You can always make up your own, but here are some defaults if you're like, I just want something simple and easy and get it done. So right now we got the Valentine's Day giveaway. That's coming up in a month. Right? So in fact, exactly a month. That'll be February 14th. Don't forget, if you want to do a romantic dinner for two at a restaurant, the Valentine's Day giveaway is a wonderful thing to do. It's simple, it's easy. And remember, it gets you out in front of people, and you want to do that here in this first quarter of the year. And it makes all your reach outs pretty easy. Call them up and say, hey, did you want to get in on the Valentine's Day giveaway? I was just thinking about you. Do you want me to enter your name? Okay, or you could do that by phone, by text, by email, by social media, reach out, DM, etc. You got a lot of different ways to get the message out. And then, of course, you got the spring clean giveaway. That'll be coming up in the later part of the first half of the year, the summer fun in the middle of the year, and we do the Pi Day giveaway at the end. But I just want to remind you that we have 3 simple events that you could four simple events you could do throughout the course of the year. And again, the Valentine's Day giveaway, spring clean giveaway, summer fun giveaway, and Pi Day. But right now, we're looking at the Valentine's Day giveaway. And the easy thing to do is a romantic dinner for 2, right? Pick a restaurant of your choice. It's really great if they have a gift card. That's the easiest way to do it. So you can get the gift card out to the winner, and then you just simply do a drawing. You can have either one grand prize or you can have multiple prizes. We always like multiple prizes to create more winners, to make people happy. So in our examples, we like to have a first, second, and third prize. So $100 for first prize, $50 for second prize, $25 for third prize. As an example, your whole budget now is only $175, and you're touching 3 people to get where you're giving awards to 3 people, so they're super excited. These are just raffles, by the way, just random raffles or drawings. And but you reached out to however many people in your PCSY. So is that 50 people, 100 people, 200 people? Whatever it is, you reached all those people and you reminded them that you're around. Just like Tristan started the day today by saying, hey, I just called somebody, didn't even get a hold of them, but they saw that I'd left a message for them, and it reminded them I'm in business. They got a piece of business, a referral opportunity, and they handed it right off to me. So that's why you're doing all these touches. Is just the invitation alone is super valuable. And that's why we like these giveaway events. All right, does anybody have any questions about this? Cool.
No questions other than we got to get Valentine's going now.
Yeah, that's right. Valentine's Day is 30 days away, so we got to get prepped for it if we're going to do it. And but it's perfect time to start right now. It's an easy event, and it's perfectly timed to start leading us into our spring market. I'll also remind you, the top teams, they've long ago started moving into doing events once a month, just because they know the power of the event, reaching out to people. So, all right, good job, everybody. Anybody have anything that you want to get out on our call here, production call, before we break? All right, cool. What we're going to do is we're going to end the production call for now, and we'll go into our huddle, our daily huddle, where we talk about our #1 priority for the day to help us get focused. And I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording, and then we'll go ahead and do our huddle.